Have you ever asked yourself, what is my life's purpose? Well, the interesting thing is that you're not the only one, because this is literally an age-old question. In fact, you can go as back as the 4th century BC, where Aristotle was asking questions about the purpose of life and the whole idea of everything in life has a purpose. So it is true that everything in life has a purpose. You have a purpose. I have a purpose. But the question is, do you know your purpose? For some people, they do. For some people, they're not really sure, or they haven't really done what needs to be done to really find out their purpose. And in this video, I'm really going to talk about how to find purpose in your life. And I'm going to be giving some useful tips on how to do that. So stay tuned and let's get it. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Kuda Biza. I'm a serial entrepreneur. And on my YouTube channel, I like to bring content to help people with their businesses, with their life, and just to give some tips and tricks to make yourself more productive, more aligned with your purpose and where you're going. And today we're going to be talking exactly about that, your life's purpose. So before we get into the questions you can ask to find your purpose, I want to start by just defining the word purpose, right? So there are a couple of definitions out there, and there are two that I really like. The first one that I like is that purpose is the reason for existence. Now take a moment and think about it for a minute, right? The reason for existence. Why do you exist? Why does something exist? That is the purpose for something, right? The second definition that I like is the original intent. So when something was created, what was the original intent for that creation? So that's a question you need to be asking yourself, is what was the original intent for my creation? Or in other words, what was the reason for my creation? So I'm going to go through 3 questions that you can ask yourself in order for you to find your purpose. Now, the first question you can ask yourself is, what would I do for the rest of my life, whether or not I get paid or not? So I'm going to say it again. What would I do for the rest of my life, whether I get paid or not? It's a fundamental question because you really dig into your passion, the things that you really like to do, whether you're being compensated or not compensated. So take a couple of minutes and really think through the answer to that question. Now, the second question I want you to ask is, what comes easy for you, right? What comes easy for me, but hard for others? So that's the second question I want you to ask yourself. What comes easy for me, but hard for others? So here you get to dig into things that, you do, and people tell you like, dude, how do you do that? But for you, it really comes natural. It's kind of like second nature. But for other people, it's like, they are like mind blown how you're able to do it quite easily. So take a couple of minutes and answer that question. And then the third question is, what is the bane to your existence when it comes to people? So like, let's say an injustice that you see and that your heart is constantly tied to, right? And these 3 questions, by the way, I got them from my friend Damon Dillard. We did an Instagram live and he was able to kind of like walk me through this. I'm like, dude, this is really good. I want to make sure I share it. And I did also another YouTube video with him. So that's the third question. What is the bane to your existence when it comes to people? So you want to really look into, is there an injustice or something out there that you really feel like, you need to do something about and it pains you because the source of your agitation is usually tied to your assignment. So for me, it's education and hunger. So that's why you see any business that I start, I always have a give back, program where we're either helping people get access to education or providing meals. Because for me, that's kind of like the thing that gives me the most agitation. And as an entrepreneur, I focus to make sure that my entrepreneurial success is tied to solving these issues. So that's the third question you want to ask. And then after you do that, there's a bonus assignment as well that you could do, which is email 5 people that know you very, very well, and then ask them this simple question. What makes me unique? Now, when you ask that question, you're going to find that people are really going to think about what makes you different, what makes you unique, and they're going to email you those answers. And what I want you to do is take those answers from those 5 emails and also align it with those 3 answers that you've taken for those 3 questions. And when you do that, you're going to be able to find your purpose. So one other thing that I wanted to provide as a resource is I wrote a book called The Spear Method. And in the Spear Method, the first part, it's all about finding purpose. I actually go deeper into that. And you can grab this book for free. You just have to cover for the shipping and handling. So feel free to click the link below and get the book and read it. It's in the first part of the book. It has 5 parts to it. And you'll be able to really understand how I talk about purpose and bring in some latest thinking from people like Simon Sinek, and so forth and so forth. So you want to definitely grab the Spear Method and make sure you dig into it. So folks, your purpose is super critical because it's that guiding GPS that keeps you going. And if you're not living in your purpose, there'll always be misalignment in your life, which will ultimately lead to you not being fulfilled. So it's super important that you take the time to finding your purpose, because once you find your purpose, you'll be able to deliver on it and you'll be able to attain fulfillment. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a wonderful day.